Susan Raza from Newport, also former student here, 50 some odd years ago.
Welcome back.
I got so lost. I'm like, where the heck is I had to have somebody show me. Anyway, I digress. I will not need my whole 3 minutes. Good evening to all. My name is Susan Raza. As I stated before, I am from Newport. I'm also a representative of the Women Project, and like I said, a past student. Normally, I would go after one of the next speakers. So remember my testimony when you hear what comes. BS is easy to spot. You can see the fill lines in the eyes. Blow that dog whistle, hear it clear. The ignorance patrol is near. Blow that dog whistle, say the words that tingle the spine and rally the herd. Blow that dog whistle, tell all the lies, but keep them straight. For when it comes time for the pearly gates, blow that dog whistle, say God told me to, say it proudly, but show me a clue. Blow that dog whistle, show me the Bible verse where Jesus said, I'd rather be straight, not gay, trans, or dead. Blow that dog whistle, tell them what they want to know and feel, but to heck with what the child wants or needs. So blow that dog whistle, try to ban books, demonize the different and foreign, for knowledge and power, and this scares the bejeebers out of the Christian right, GQP, Heritage Foundation, Koch brothers, etc. So spew your filth, but take to heart. We know who and what you are. We see that your eyes are full. So y'all be yourselves, and good night.
Thank you. Next, we have Robert Chiaradio. Thank you.
Good evening. Robert Carradillo, Westerly. This district's transgender policy attempts to make parents think that you have the best interests of all students at heart, when in fact, it discriminates against 99% of this district's students, especially our girls, by placing them in uncomfortable, unsafe, and unfair positions. Cowering to ride, you have shamelessly sold out Tiverton's girls and boys. There are 6 pillars of ride's untruthful and unlawful transgender guidance that you must change within your own policy, which many Tiverton parents may not be aware of. Biological boys using the same bathrooms and locker rooms as girls, rooming with girls on overnight field trips, competing with or against girls athletically, compelling teachers to use pronouns, and keeping of secrets from parents may be the most egregious one, regarding social transitioning of their own kids in secondary school, which is specifically referred to on page 4 of your policy number 1183, which cuts out parents completely. That's middle school and high school, where these kids are between 11 and 17 years old. This is of particular interest to the attorneys that I am working with as they are looking at this right now. I would strongly suggest this policy be amended or eliminated, as your cowardly protocol has been exposed. Your Title IX policy is an unlawful rubber stamping of this current administration's attempt to erase women, and I will not allow that to happen. Title IX was written to protect women from discrimination based on sex, not men who identify as women. Get biological boys out of girls' sports. Your own Principal Craven is a member of RIPCOA, the group who supervises Rhode Island Interscholastic League. This group, carrying Ride's water, works along with RIL's executive director, Mike Lunny, to allow biological boys to participate in girls' sports. And I know it is happening in Rhode Island. I will never back off on this, as no matter how much a boy wants to be a girl, thinks he's a girl, acts like a girl, he will never be a girl, and vice versa. Same as girls who want to be boys, who identify as boys. It's nothing but truth. It has nothing to do with someone being gay or straight. No one cares. That ship sailed long ago. It's simple common sense. That said,
30 seconds.
Thank you. We are working right now to exempt all Tiverton schools from the illegal 2024 Title IX rewrite, and we'll be letting you know very soon which schools are involved, if not all are exempt. Get this on your next agenda, please. Change these policies. Other districts are heeding my advice and readying to do the same thing. Every parent has legal standing in this matter. You would do well to remember that.
Time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, we have John Jojo Clark.
Good evening. My name is John Clark. I reside in Woonsocket, Rhode Island. I prefer to be addressed as JoJo, they, them pronouns. I'm here tonight to voice my support and encourage this board to follow RIDE's guidelines for transgender and gender diverse students in your school system. At heart, it simply extends the protection and safety set for all students. It mirrors our society's endeavor to fight discrimination, prejudice, and bigotry. I can think of no better place to start. I am 59 years of age. I conduct my life according to my experience, heart, and reasoning. It is by those tenets I choose to stand before you and testify. I am trans, am not evil or belong to a cult. My transition has resulted in a much richer life, mentally, creatively, and socially. Some here would care for you to start a witch hunt, where there are no witches to be found. Though I do not know them well to speak of them void of heart, I can clearly hear misdirected fear, condemnation, and persecution aimed at the innocent, which this board is charged with the protection and safety of. And for what reason are they being targeted? For their right of self-expression. Your due diligence is civically important here. I was raised in post-segregated South and know quite well how bigotry is preserved. Dehumanization, exaggerations, and ignorance reinforced by separation so that experience may never unseat the narrative. This fire is being fanned for the preservation of customs, not for the care of students today and those to come. The smoke of conspiracies and interpreted facts or interpreted statistics you will likely hear tonight are too vast for me to address one by one. They can only be cleared by reasoning and vetted research, which the state's diligence has consciously done with the RIDE guidelines, additionally adhering to Title IX of the U.S. Education Amendment. No good path forward in history of time has ever been resolved by discrimination and isolation. I am hopeful that you choose to acknowledge the rights, protection, and existence of all students, that you support expression and teach the existing diversity of our world uncensored.
30 seconds.
That you allow teachers their trained profession without being forced to become adjunct policing for parents. By following RIDE's guidelines for transgender and gender diverse students, you will lay the groundwork for healthier students in how they see themselves and treat their peers, remain within the law of this land, and perhaps encourage a more empathetic and understanding society for our future. It's your clarity and mission with heart, not fear, I am here to call upon. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next, we have Gloria Christ.
Oh, darn, he left. I am Gloria Christ, and I brought a copy of the guidance of Title IX, just in case someone hasn't read it. I live in Tiverton, and I am here to talk about the fear that the gentleman who clearly was so afraid he left the room. When we talk about book banning and discriminating against transgender and LGBTQ students, it's essential to provide a well-rounded rebuttal. We talk about freedom of expression and thought, educational integrity. Banning books that feature LGBTQ plus characters or themes compromises educational integrity. It also impedes on First Amendment rights. All children deserve to be seen and heard. It is their civil right. Freedom of speech and expression is a core American value. It's protected under the First Amendment. How ironic that we have a group of people who base their hate and intolerance because they're afraid and they want their First Amendment rights met, but they want to take them away from everyone else. I want to talk about the impact on mental health and well-being. Mental health risks, discriminatory policies and practices against transgender and LGBTQ plus students contribute to higher rates of depression, anxiety, and suicide within these communities. When we have individuals that are promoting hate and intolerance, those rates go up and the risks go up. Safe and inclusive schools is the rule. It is the rule. All students deserve a safe and supportive learning environment. It has been proven that educational outcomes and equity are greatly impacted when you have inclusive policies and curricula that affirm LGBTQ plus identities, and they're linked to better educational outcomes. When students feel safe and accepted, they're more likely to succeed academically. They will attend school and engage positively with their peers. We talked about civil rights, ethical responsibilities, LGBTQ plus bullying prevalence. Right now, 75.4% of LGBTQ students in grades 6 through 12 reported experiencing verbal harassment,
30 seconds.
threats because of their sexual orientation, physical harassment, and cyberbullying. Had the gentleman not left the room, I would have said to him that he is irrelevant. And it's more terrifying that he has become obsessed with adolescents' gender, genitalia, and their sexual preference. Thank you.
Thank you. Aubrey Planets.
Do I need to put, there we go, fantastic. Hi everyone, my name is Aubrey Planets. My pronouns are she, they, and I am from Providence, Rhode Island. I just want to let you know the reason why I use she, they pronouns. While I often present as extremely feminine, I don't believe in being confined to the society definitions of normal for any gender. My pronouns reflect my belief that identity is personal, fluid, and I am grateful for the spaces and the people who respect that. This wasn't always the case when I was a child. Public schools must represent and protect diversity of their students. Every student, regardless of their gender identity, deserves to feel safe, respected, and included. Sorry. When I hear people say boys are boys and girls are girls, and that's just how it is, it's an oversimplification of a complex issue. Gender norms, as we all know, are a social construct, and that is just a social construct and a truth, as I've heard the gentleman say. It is our job to protect children, whether they want to wear dresses or play baseball or basketball, or in my case, both those sports when a girls' team didn't exist. It is our job to protect those students if they want to wear pink, if they want to go by she, they, them, he. It is not our job to tell a little girl or a little boy what they cannot be. It is our job as an education system, and it is our job as adults to protect them, encourage them, answer their questions respectfully, and encourage them also to do the same with those around them. If we are going to allow our students to hear this kind of nonsense, they are only going to inflict that on their current and fellow students. I hope that we as adults can protect these kids and encourage them to be good people to one another and also be good people to them. We owe this to them. You owe this to so many kids to protect them. As parents, you owe that. I don't have kids. I would love to have kids. It's much harder for me and my partner. And I want to know that when they go to school, they are safe and that the people there respect us as parents and who we are. And just because you get rid of a policy, as some people would like, it does not erase people. They will always be there, whether there's a policy or not. And that policy doesn't have to be in place for you to be good people. Thank you.
Thank you. Shannon McNamara.
Shannon McNamara in Tiverton. I want to talk about how when you get yourself down a social media rabbit hole, you end up where our second speaker was, because yes, he left, and how AI can contribute to this and et cetera, but I only have 3 minutes. Because you can see what this type of thinking does. Once you start watching this vitriol, it's fed to you over and over again until you're obese with ignorance and hate. And then an already marginalized group of children become the boogeyman of this week's Facebook algorithm. So instead of explaining the science of this, I'll instead say this: it's okay to be different. So what if you get labeled weird? The weird kids become the artists, the musicians, the designers, and the engineers. The bullies become the leaders of their own narrow-minded agenda because they refuse to see the beauty in those who are different. Just know that you have many parents, so many who are here tonight, who will stand beside you and in front of you when there are those who want to bulldoze you over. School and youth are fleeting. Put your headphones on or your AirPods in and drown out the madness. You'll be better off, and we will be better off because we have you here with us. That's it.
Thank you very much. We typically would not speak in any kind of response to an open forum item, but I do want to make one very quick statement. In my time in Tiverton, which is quite a while, Tiverton schools have always been safe and inclusive. And as long as I'm here, as long as I'm still in this town, I will always fight, if I must, to preserve that tradition. Thank you. Anyone else?
I would also like to say that I would believe that our administration, our teachers, staff, faculty, make this a great school system to be part of. Everyone should feel included, involved, and cared for. And as a school committee member, I would back that statement as well. So thank you.
It's my last night. But as a citizen and some other positions you might know about, but can't really speak on that behalf. But I agree with you both, Diane and Mike. I categorically reject the statements of the second speaker.
I want to thank everyone that came and spoke tonight, even the one that we didn't agree with. One of the things that I'll always defend is your right to be heard. That being said, having been in the district raising my own child, 15th year on the school board, we are accepting, we are inclusive in this district, and I see no reasons to stop doing that now.
Okay, thank you all.